Hello, Flosstube. My name is Sherry. Welcome to Shea Cherie. Oh God, that's very continental, isn't it? And I'm not very continental at all. I'm originally from Scotland and I now live in the northeast, which I have done since I was 5. So I'm a pretty established Geordie. And for anyone who doesn't know, Geordies are people born in the northeast. The one thing I am without question is a magpie, and magpies are the symbol of Newcastle United. Symbol, mascot, not sponsor. Do you know what the right word is? They're just known as magpies anyway. The Mags, the mighty Mags, and I breathe black and white. I absolutely love me football. Always have since I was a little girl. And my dad took me to my first match at Newcastle's ground, St James's Park, when I was 12. And I just fell head over heels in love. Like I wasn't anyway, but yeah, that was it. That was me. I live alone, but I have got the requisite cats. I never married, so obviously being a spinster, it's the law, isn't it, that you've got to have cats when you're a spinster? I think it's the law. I think it's written down somewhere. So at the moment I've got 2.75 cats. It used to be 2.5. It's now 2.75. I've got two little. Excuse me. Two little. There were feral kittens brought in. And I got them during COVID. So they've only ever been with me, and they're terrified of people. But I mean, they're 3 now. Are they 3? Got them in April. What month are we in? Yeah, so 3 in 3 months kind of thing. And they still won't go to anybody. I'm the only person that's allowed in their life. But it's understandable because obviously during COVID, we all had to stay home, and I had to stay home alone. So all I've ever known is just me. And it's sweet. It's sweet that I'm the human, and I'm the only human allowed in their gang. They'll take any cats, but no more humans allowed in their gang. Thanks very much. The 0.75 of a cat that I've got, it was half a cat. I came in one day, went into my bedroom, and there, lying flat out on my bed, was a cat that wasn't mine. I was like, oh, hello, come in, make yourself at home, why don't you? And that was about 2 years ago, maybe. So he's called Charlie. He's asleep actually behind there at the moment, so he might wake up if I say his name. And he lives 2 doors down. Well, that's where he officially lives. But gradually over the last couple of years, he's been coming to mine more and more and more, to the point where, right, this is, you'll learn about me as I go. My life isn't always normal. It just isn't. It's my world, and Sherry's world is usually interesting. It's exactly what it is. It's interesting. So I took Charlie on his first cat holiday a couple of months ago. I've got a caravan up in the Northumberland Hills, and what had happened was I was going up there, and every time I came back to do some washing, he would be sat at my door, and oh man, I just felt awful going away and leaving him. And his human has just had a brand new baby. So I said to her, do you want me to take him for a couple of weeks up to the caravan? And that couple of weeks turned into about 2 months. And he's still here. I think he's, I mean, I'm back at home at the moment, but yeah, he is here most of the time now. So he's progressed from 2.5 to from 0.5 of a cat to 0.75 of a cat. I haven't officially taken him on. There's a big yet in there, isn't there? There was always a yet. When I walked into my bedroom a couple of years ago, I went, this isn't my cat yet. That was always going to happen, always. But yeah, you'll have to bear with me because I take a lot of medication. I've got some quite serious health stuff going on. I have osteoarthritis in my spine through a nasty fall I had. It was years ago now, but I did quite a lot of damage, and I've been left with, I've got a frame in my back that holds my spine up, basically, and the lower part of my back, the lumbar, has developed arthritis, and the muscles sort of around the thoracic area of my back are in spasm all the time. So I take an awful lot of medication. One of the side effects is that it just gives me a really dry mouth. So if I talk for any amount of time, I do need to keep having a drink. And I've been watching Alicia, the fanciful flamingo, and she's so sweet. She started putting in little clips that allows her to just have a sneaky little drink, so she's not on camera. But unfortunately, I am going to have to drink on camera, because otherwise all you would see would be little breaks. So yeah, so please forgive me for that. What else about me? I have cross-stitched. Oh, in fact, no, I'll tell you about my family first, because apparently I've got one. I say family, I've got a daughter who is 30, and she lives on the road at the moment. She is on tour with Coldplay. No, she doesn't sing or dance, but she can do both, but that's not what she's there. She's working on the sustainable energy part of their tour. So they have bikes and a kinetic dance floor. So what happens is people who go to the concerts and stuff, they get on the bikes and the pedal, and the energy goes into these huge batteries, and the batteries are obviously power. The power then goes to power the show. So that Coldplay, is it carbon net zero? Is that how you say it? Excuse me if I'm wrong. You're probably screaming at me going, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Actually, I don't know what I'm talking about most of the time. So yeah, they aim to use all renewable energy wherever they go. So they've got like solar panels, and like I say, they've got this dance floor. So it's like basically the people on the dance floor jumping up and down at the concert are powering the show, which is mental, really. And it's cool. It's super cool. And hopefully it's the future, because, you know, we do need to be careful with our resources of Mother Earth, because, you know, she's not happy. She's not a happy bunny at the moment, is she not? No, our Mother Nature is, yeah. And I think COVID was just a time out. Just go and sit on that step right there in your own house and think about your behaviour, is exactly what COVID was. Well, that's my take on it anyway. So yeah, moving on from COVID. So yeah, my daughter, yeah, she's in England at the moment, and then I think she heads off to Canada in September. So they've done North America and South America, and a lot of Europe over the last 2 years, and now she's heading over to Canada, and I am super, super jealous. I watch Lisa, Lost in Stitches, and is it Lindsay, Cat Fur and Cross Stitch, who I absolutely adore. If there's a soul sister out there, she's probably it. And I'm always so jealous that they're in Canada. It's somewhere I would love to go. It's a proper bucket list trip. Anyway, I'm diversifying. I don't know what I'm doing. Digressing. That's the word. You should have told us. I'm digressing. And I do digress a bit, so bear with us. So yeah, super jealous that she's gone to Canada. What else? I'm really nervous. I was really nervous. I've been putting this off. And I've been anxious and nervous about doing it for at least 6 months. So I'm sick of living in perpetual anxiety. And I decided, well, I might as well have anxiety having done it rather than having anxiety about doing it. And then I found something. Look, I found these. Big girls' pants. So I decided to put them on. Put my big girls' pants on. And here I am. That's me. They are genuinely my pants. And what's they are new. I had appendicitis a year ago. And I had to stay in hospital afterwards. And I asked my mum to get me some clean knickers and things like that. And she brought a pack of 5 big girls' pants for us because she didn't want me running around hospital in them rude things that you wear, Sherry. And they're not rude, they're just smaller knickers, that's all. So yeah, them's me big girls' pants, and whenever I get a little bit frightened, I get reminded that I can put them on, pull them up, and away I go. So here I am. Cross-stitching is why we're here, isn't it? Apparently. So, cross-stitching, I was about 9, and I was in junior school, and a lady called Mrs. Errington taught me how to cross-stitch, and the first one I ever did was, it was a carousel, like the horse things that go around, and you wave every time you go around, yeah, ma'am. I used to love a carousel. And I was so proud of this thing. I was super proud of it. And she taught me how to do embroidery as well. So I was doing like French knots and lazy daisy stitches and things like that. From being fairly young, I was 8, 9. And I entered the local Eisteddfod competitions and I won with both of them. Can't remember if I got first place with them, but I got first, second or third. It was one of them. And I loved that carousel. And I was so proud of it. And then I think I got rid of it because I think at one point I thought, oh, I'm just being silly. It's just a daft little cross stitch. Stop. It felt, I struggled with the difference between pride and vanity. And it felt vain to be proud of this thing that I achieved. But I know now I was absolutely right to be proud of it, and I still am. And yet, to be fair, I still, if somebody admires the stuff I do, I'm like, oh God, anybody can do it, it's just a few X's. And to be fair, anybody can do it, but anybody hasn't. It's me that has done it. So I suppose I should be proud of it, and I am. Yeah, I'm really proud of it. No perfect crosses like, oh gosh, Pam from Just Keep Stitching. And Stephanie's, those girls that can do the perfect cross. I can't, and I don't claim to, but I am quite proud of some of the stuff I do. So cross stitch for me ended up being things that there would be an event. So if somebody had a baby, I would buy a birth sampler kit, and I would stitch it and I would give it away to them. And I didn't realise you could keep your cross stitch for yourself. That was monumental. When I found that out, my world was seriously rocked. The earth moved for me, and it's probably the only time in my life that the earth has moved quite that dramatically. When I realised that you could A, cross stitch and keep it yourself, and B, be proud of what you cross stitched, and C, don't even have to use the colours that's on the pattern. What's that all about? You can pick your own? Man, really? I still struggle to do it because I still feel like, oh no, but I'm not doing it properly if I don't follow the rules. I do feel like I need to follow the rules. One of the other things with me, so I've cross-stitched on and off all of my life, well, since I was 9. But it came back. I'm in recovery. I'm a recovering alcoholic, and God willing, a day at a time, I will have 11 years sobriety in September. And cross-stitching, it sounds a bit dramatic, cross-stitching saved my life, but actually it didn't, you know, it wasn't that far away, because when I was first getting sober and needed something, that stopped me reaching for a drink. So I needed something where both of my hands had to be busy. So I just picked up cross-stitching again, and away I went. So I've done it much, much more consistently over the last 11 years. And it's been, I spend a lot of time on my own, and I'm never lonely. Well, that's a lie, I probably am now and again, but it's very, very rare that I'm lonely, and it's because I occupy myself, I occupy my time, I've got things to do, I've got pieces to stitch, I've got organisation to do, I've got to have them all in Halloween and then Christmas, and then I decide a month later, no, I tell you what, I think I need to go from big to little project is what I need to do, and then I need to go from oldest whip to newest whip. So these things take time, and they take things to do, and I enjoy doing the things that I do. So yeah, cross-stitching has been a massive part of recovery, as well as other things, because I couldn't have done it on my own. It like cross-stitching, and it takes a village, and it's something I'll always be grateful for. So yeah, that's probably as much about me as you need to know, or you want to know. So I thought I would do a bit of a whip parade. I've got some recent gifts. These are gifts that have been given to me from me. And I like to think that these are the gifts. If I had a partner, he would love to buy for me. So I'd just do it instead. So I find my life is a lot easier and a lot simpler if I just remove the man out of the situation and move the cross-stitch gifts into it. Everyone's a winner, surely. Do you not think? I do. Yeah, that's how I like my life. It's fab. Anyway, let's get started. Let's have a look and see what I've got going on. So the first one, oh sorry, I should have, do you know, I've undone all the zips, but I grabbed this one because I missed it before when I was getting my piles of stuff. And I was like, oh God, I forgot that, so I've just picked it up. So this one is Honey Fair by October House Fibre Arts. Now I know earlier on in the year there was it was the Strawberry Fair, I think it was. Strawberry Fair sale, I know Helen D and them were all in it. And I never got on board with that. But I have started Honey Fair. I say started. I have started. And I've got a board here. Proper professional, me, you know. Proper professional. Honestly, my world. Look at my start. Oh God, there's me being proper professional. You can't even see. So it's a little start, and I have to confess, I started it. It's just on a 32 count even weave Lugana. I haven't got the proper name for it anyway, but It was one of the very first Laganas I bought. So I started it thinking it was going to be relatively easy, but it's actually not. There's a lot of colour changes in here. So it wasn't going to be the, not mindless stitch, but you know what I mean, like an easy stitch. It's not as easy as I thought it was going to be. So I put it down. It's not that I don't want to do it. I think I had in my head a purpose for it. It was just going to be I can just sit when I finished work and do this. And then I realised it wasn't going to be like that. So it got put away. So am I going to get it out again anytime soon? Probably not. I will get it out and I will finish it, but just not yet. This is project bag that I got from Not Enough Whip Bags, and I got it from a retreat. I was at the Royal Retreat, who Sammy Little Loop Stitching organised, and Andrea, who is stitchy science technician, I think, who they organised, and it was the Royal Retreat, as in it was around the time of the coronation. Our Bonnie Prince Charlie got married. No, he got married. Didn't get married, he got coronated. Coronated? Didn't get coronated at all. I mean, he might have got coronated in private, who knows? Who am I to say? But he got crowned. That's what he got. He got crowned. Coronated. Oh my God. You can see, you know, this world I live in. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Utterly bonkers. Well, it's not to me. To me, I think it's quite normal, but so that's the front. So it's a vinyl front bag with the really pretty fabric. I love me a project bag, as you know, we all do, but I prefer the fabric ones because I've discovered that, not in this case, not with this lady, Sarah, I think her name is, does them, because some people put the really, and I'll show you in a minute, the next one actually has got a really good example of it, but they often put the really pretty fabric in there, well, and then it gets covered with your project when you put your project in, and I don't like seeing the messiness of the project in it. I want to see a nice fabric. It's just me. So this is I usually have a work stitch on the go. So I work as a PA. Oh gosh, getting threads mixed up already. You can see also I'm a sort of a paper crafter and stuff as well, although I've veered away from that more recently. But this is a Cricut, so for anybody who has one, Molly from Linen and Scraps, she's like a crafter like me as well. So I do like a lot of vinyling, and I can print t-shirts, and actually over there, that one there is my mug like printer, so you can sublimate onto mugs and things like that. So, but at the moment I'm not really doing any of that. I'm just stitching, not just stitching, but I'm concentrating on stitching. So this one is, Sherry, sort your stuff out, and you see I nearly swore. Sometimes a swear word might slip out accidentally, and I'm sorry if it does. I'm really sorry, but real life, guys. This is real life. Where's the pat? Oh, it's there. So this is a top-notch cup of tea, and this is the Cross Stitch the Rainbow, X Stitch the Rainbow. That was at market this year at Nashville. So this is my little work stitch for the moment, and it's the first time I've ever stitched with silks. So I'm using a 32 count even weave, and it's by Fabric Flair. It's the Lakeside Needlecraft, Lakeside Needleworks, something like that in the UK. It's their fabric of the month. So this is, I think it was April. And I think it's called Wisteria, but don't hold me to that. So that's, and to be honest, I'm nearly finished it. I've just got this little bit here at the bottom, the bottom book to finish. And I was a little bit reticent. I was a little bit reticent. You see, sometimes I can be proper posh, you know, proper posh. Yeah, I was a bit wary of stitching with silks because I didn't want to fall in love with them, and then I would want to stitch with them all the time, and nobody got the money for that unless you're Elon Musk. I'm wondering, is he single? I think it might be worth finding out, because that could be an option. I could work with that sort of money, pretty sure. And then think of the gifts I could buy myself if I thought he was my partner. It would be wild. What was I saying? Go off on a total tangent. Yes, I didn't want to start with silks because I was frightened that I would just fall in love and never want to go back to stitching with cotton. But I didn't. They're nice. And on even weave, yes, it is like stitching through butter, but I think I must be a little bit of an ASMR stitcher as well, because I quite like the noise of the drag. You know, when you go through Ada and it sort of scratches, and I find that quite soothing, the scratch in, the scratch down, I just find the noise, the repetitive noise, quite just as soothing as the motion of stitching as well. So that was me work stitch for a little while, and I need to finish that. And I have got a couple more of those treeway to do, and my other one isn't here. Never mind, it isn't here. Don't worry about that. So this is going to be fun, isn't it? Getting back to where I'm going to hide everything. So this is the bag, the project bag I was talking about. This is, I'm sure most of you will recognise. I'm going to take it all out so that you can see. So this is the Strawberry Thief by William Morris. And it's lovely. It's really, really, really lovely. And it's a gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous job. And this is from a place called Patchwork Paw Print on Etsy. And I've got a couple of theirs, I think. But this was when I realised that, once I put my project in, I'm not going to see the Strawberry Thief fabric. And this fabric's beautiful, and it really is beautiful, but I want to see that as well. So, I've realised now that I'm just more of a fabric bag kind of girl. And this, I love this. This is probably the first, I don't want to say official sampler, but yeah, kind of maybe that I've done. I haven't ironed because I haven't got time in my life for ironing. My daughter, I said something about ironing one day, and she went, "Is that still a thing people do?" I was like, yeah, Courtney, it's something people still do. I mean, she lives in festivals and all over the place, so she doesn't iron. But so this is, I should have shown you the pattern. Come on, Sherry. No, I'm not very professional now, am I? I like to think I am, but I'm just really not. It is called Tiny Tree Tops, Rosemary or Thyme. And I saw this on, it was on the wall between Pam and Steph of Just Keep Stitching. And it actually comes from The Sewing Club by Blackbird Designs. And this book, oh, my love, I love this book. It's just, what was the one? I saw one just before that I thought that's my next one. It wasn't that. Can't remember. I have got one in a project bag, I think, kitted. I don't think it's fully kitted, but it's part kitted, ready to go. Where's the one that I really wanted to do next? It was just a little one. And I think I like that about these, that they're not massive. But they're still really, really pretty. It was this one, Gathering Swallows. Careful not to show the pattern, but I absolutely love that. I really do. And that is Gathering Swallows, designed and stitched by Barb Adams. So yeah, I think that one's going to be next. And this is not far away. It is not far away. So yeah, that's my that is my, so I've only got I've only got this bit down here to do. So there's another one. You think it's replicated, and it kind of is, but it's not. Either it is or it's not. It's not. It's similar. It's not the same. So it's a different colour down here. And these little stalks, there's like 2 layers of them, two stalks here, whereas there's only one there. So at first glance they look the same, but they're actually not. So it's one of those where you've got to be quite careful, because I think it can catch it out quite easily. So there's the rest of him to finish, and the one that's similar to that on the end. And then I've just got to put like, it's like a dusky rose pink here. So I've got to do that, the last couple. And then there's one, that one there. My needle minder. That one there has the pecan in it, and that's the colour of the alphabet at the top here. So there's a little bit more to do, but to be honest, a couple of days and I can nail that. And this little cat needle minder is as cute as a button. You can see it's going really dark there when it's really sweet, and I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I think I got it from Botanical Crafts on Etsy. I have had quite a lot of their needle minders, and they're really sweet, and it's good strong magnet on. So I would definitely recommend the needle minders from there. I'm not wonderfully technical. I mean, I can hold my own a bit. But this will be my first effort at doing anything like this, you know, like vlogging or whatever, you know. So I don't want to say, oh gosh, I don't want to say that I'll put all the links in the description. I will try, but I really don't know what I'm doing, so I'll have to wait and see. Okay, moving on. Look at this. Isn't this gorgeous? Flipping cat hair on everything. See, Lindsay? Cat fur, cat hair everywhere. And this gorgeous little notions bag came with it, and this was not enough with bags as well. And in this one is it's from Stitches Through the Years, which I got on Etsy as well, and it is Autumn is Coming Mini Quaker. So and I love that. It's just the autumn colours. And I've started this on a bag that I got from, fabric that I got from, I'm in the Fabric of the Month Club from Megan Coffee Craft Fabric. So it hasn't got a name, it's just a fabric of the month that I've started on. And I'm in the neutrals, so I've just started it. I haven't done a huge amount. I've just started it there. And I got this needle minder from a lady, I'm sure she's called Stitch Mania, I think her company's called. She's called Michelle Patterson, and she's on Facebook, and she's in the Floss Friends UK group, and I'm sure I got this off her, from her, I'm sure I did. So yeah, this was maybe it's the March fabric of the month. And it's really lovely, it's really sort of grungy. Perfect for autumn. So that is that one. And this bag I got from, I've just been to the, where was I? Come on, tell us, Howie. It was a retreat, and I can't remember what it was called. Summer retreat. You see, it was really complicated, wasn't it? The summer retreat. And I went there on my own as well. And there's another lady, Tan, who has, and I'll have to tell you the story about thing as well. But anyway, Tan has just started up a YouTube channel. And she is the.monogamous_cross.stitcher. And she's just started up, and she's doing incredible full coverage of Harry Potter, and it's stunning, like. And she's got this fabulous ombre hair. I mean, she said it was more by good luck than good management, but I was seriously impressed. And I did accost her one morning and say, "You look like a stitcher," because I went on my own. So I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anyone to the first one I went to either. So this retreat malarkey is all brand new to me. And what I love about this bag is I'm also a cold water swimmer, or a wild swimmer, whatever you want to call it. And I used to do it, I'm pointing, because I'm like Peter Kay, over there in the sea, over there. Like, where over there is. I live right on the coast, so I used to swim in the North Sea 4 or 5 times a week, quite a lot, and I absolutely loved it. As I said, I've got a caravan up in the Northumberland Hills now, so I've been swimming in the River Coquet instead, because there's just, if you get a chance to do it, it's incredible. And I met a lady at the retreat, Josie, who, really inspirational woman, really. She's had her own battles with cancer, and she's just an inspiration. And she's a cold water swimmer, and it was just so lovely to meet a fellow cross stitcher and cold water swimmer. So I'm sure there's more of us out there. We'll have to do a retreat besides some water. I mean, anything slightly bigger than a puddle would work for me. I'm only 4'10" depends on which leg I stand on. So I've got one leg that's a bit shorter than the other. When I had my accident, I snapped my leg, and I've ended up with a length discrepancy. But it's usually quite funny when people say, "How tall are you?" I'm like, "Which leg do you want us to stand on?" I'll tell you. So that's it. But the biggest thing about this retreat now, Michelle, Mama Loves You GB, she was going, and I knew she was going, and she's like, to me, she's like Flosstube royalty. Like, oh my God, like, It's Michelle. Mama loves you, GB. Brenda talks about her. Brenda and Laura. I mean, you can't really get any more famous than that, can you? So I come in on the Saturday morning and I was like, I need to go and speak to her. I can't speak to her. What am I going to say to her? I've got no idea. What will I say to her? And I just had this total fangirl and meltdown. Like, I just couldn't speak to her. And I went outside and I was chatting outside to Lauren from Flosstubers, who is just a doll. She's an absolute lovely, lovely, lovely lass. And I met Mama Flosstube as well, and she was fab, and she was telling me all about sulkies, and because she was busy stitching with a variegated sulky, so that was really interesting, chatting to her about it, and she was giving us the where to get it from. So chatting away to Laura, no bother at all. Could I speak to Michelle? I saw Michelle, right, she was going around the tables like just, oh, what you working on, as you do, and da-da-da, and I ran away. I just couldn't, because I thought if she comes over, I'm going to say, hey, Michelle, I just love you, and I just want to be you, and I just want to be your friend, and I just want to be you. I just couldn't. Honestly, I'm blushing thinking about it. Absolutely mortified. And I was watching her Flosstube afterwards, Michelle's, and she was saying, oh, it's really daunting walking into her room. And I was like, oh my God. And that was the thing. She was such a humble person, really, really humble. And I could tell that by looking at her. So why I was frightened to speak to her, I don't know. But honestly, I just couldn't. Imagine if I met Brenda and Laura. I really would faint. Dear God. Anyway, these swimmers, I got this in my box from Sammy Little Loops, who organised the retreat. So with all the little girls, the ladies swimming, so this couldn't have been more perfect for me. God, I went around the houses to tell you that, didn't I? But yeah, God. One day I might meet Michelle and be able to speak to her. I hope she doesn't watch this. I'm sure she won't, but I'd be mortified. And all I could think was, just pretend she's a teacher. Just pretend you're a parent of a child and that she's just a teacher. And I still couldn't. I just couldn't. I couldn't. I saw her coming round the tables and I said to the girls at my table, oh, I need to go outside and have a vape. And I just couldn't cope. I couldn't cope. So this is A Honey of a Tiny Town, which I love. Oh my God, what's happened here? It says stick to it. Stick to it. So a Heart in Hand, Honey of a Tiny Town. And I have started this. It is on a 32 count. And I'm just a little bit, a little way. So it's not, I'm not massively far. And again, this little needle minder, which is the cutest little kitty in a cup. Little kitty in a cup. From Botanical Crafts off Etsy. But I do love Honey of a Tiny Town. And oh my word, have you seen the harvest one? And I have got a frill in here as well, a honey of a frill, because I'm hoping, that way it's a bit more light. I might put it on the end if I've got enough room. I'll put it so it's all along. Or I might not, I might do it separately. I don't know. That's the thing with cross stitch, isn't it? Apparently I'm in charge. Don't put me in charge of anything too more exciting though, for Christ's sakes. I can't be trusted. And I got these scissors in the box from the retreat as well. So I paid extra to get the box. And oh, isn't it lovely? I love this little strawberry. It's just super cute. And these little scissors, man. Oh, they're just lush. That's the other thing as well with me being a Geordie. We do kind of have our own language up here. So if I use any words that you don't understand, just give us a holler. Say, yeah, Sherry, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'll explain. So, where am I with this one? Have I started it? This is Primrose Cottage Stitches. I would rather be stitching. And wouldn't we all? And I think this is just a very little start. So I'm using this is a 32 count, and it didn't have a name. I just bought it from, there's a place called Viking Loom in York, which is about an hour and a half away from me, but that's my nearest sort of local needlework shop. It's not really a cross-stitch shop, it's more of a quilting shop and fabric, but they do have fabric, so whenever I've gone down to retreats, I go via York and I'll pop in. So I got this, and this was literally just a yellow, I'm sure it's a 32 count, looks like a 32 count, and it's just a teeny little start that I've got. And that little needle minder, oh gosh, that's it, the little kitty and kind of a beaker, tumbler, what would you call it, something like that. And I got that from Sammy Little Loops, which is as cute as a button. So little loop stitching, I got that from her. So that is that one. I need to keep them semi together. And this one I'm frightened of. I've started it, but yeah, I'm a lot intimidated by it. It's probably, yeah, Tisket to Tasket. And I love this. I absolutely love it. Or as it Steph says, I love it so much. I love it so much. And I do. I absolutely love this. And I'm the blue girl, as you can tell. I'm all about the blues. So I am doing this on, it is 40 count, I think. 40 count Mayflower by Fox and Rabbit. And I've literally only just started it. So yeah, it goes that way. So I've just got a little start. And I'm just really intimidated by it. And I don't know why, because, you know, these bigger projects, they're still just one stitch at a time, isn't it? You know, it's like anything, a day at a time, stitch at a time. And that, Little Mermaid, and I got it off Etsy, and I cannot remember which shop I got it from. But it's just a little mermaid. So that is Tisket to Tasket. Next we have, this is a really little start. And I love this. This is kind of from my childhood. It's called The Little Match Girl. I knew it as The Little Matchstick Girl. And I absolutely love that. What does it say on the bottom? A fairy tale by Hans Christian Andersen, published in December 1845, I think it says. It's about a little girl who she has to sell these matches, and it's quite a sad tale. And I loved it as a little girl. I love me books as well. What is it? Books and cross stitch. And this is the tiniest start you've ever seen. So this is on Vintage Country Mocha, 40 count as well. Oh Christ, can you even see it? Yep, tiny, tiny, tiny little start. And I'll tell you for why. I haven't done much more on it. And that little penguin is from Botanical Crafts as well. I was trying to learn Pattern Keeper. I've always been a paper girl. And I was like, and everyone that I was meeting at retreats and that, they're all using Pattern Keeper, and it was so much easier. And I was thinking things like Tisket and Tasket might be easier on Pattern Keeper. So I start a little match girl by using pattern keeper, but I'm still struggling with it. Yeah, we'll see. What have I got in here? This bag is another one I got from Not Enough Whip Bags. So these are the ones I prefer, where they've got fabric on the front, and it's the same fabric on the back. And of course, it's got the appropriate amount of cat hair on. So this is my fancy lady. Oh, do you know, I haven't got a picture of her. I'm telling a lie, I've got the actual pattern here. So it's Gaia. Now, I never know whether it's Gaia or Gaia. I think it's Gaia. I asked Siri, and he said it was Gaia, but I've always said Gaia, so I don't know. Anyway, it's a Bella Filipina, and it is Gaia or Gaia, whichever one you choose. And I'm doing this on, it was Fabric of the Month with Lakeside, and I'm sure it was April's, but it, which way does it go? Yeah, it goes that way. Daffodil, so it's Fabric Flare Daffodil, and it's just the middle bit. So I've started from the middle, and it's just working down this part of our skirt. So just literally down here, part of our skirt, and it's a really lovely stitch. The material's really lovely to stitch on. So I'm really, really enjoying this. It doesn't look like I am, because I don't seem to get it out very often, but when I stitch on it, it's a pleasure. It's real moment. I don't know whether it's, again, just because it's bigger that I haven't gotten it out more. But I'm doing, do you know, I haven't told you what I'm doing with all the threads and stuff. Nearly all of them are using the code 4. It's rare that I deviate. I know I can now. I know I'm allowed. And I'll tell you for why. Because I've got these. I've got my big girl's pants. So I can choose whatever colour I want. But I don't. I just do what I'm told. Just do what I'm told. And the world's better like that. If Sherry just does as she's told. It's probably much safer. This one, Plum Street, it is Thistle House, which obviously talks to my roots, you know, my Scottish roots. I do love a thistle. And I started this at the very first not retreat day, but stitching day. The Northeast girls have got a stitching day, and they're lovely. They're really, really lovely lasses. And this bag was done by one of them. She's called, I'm sure it's Lindsay Dixon. And she made this little bag, and she made them specifically for this size chart, and it's really lovely. I absolutely love this bag, really do. This is one of the ones that I need to get done, because I'm getting there now, and I need to be done with it. So I'm not too far away. I've still got the flowers here at the bottom. I need to put them in along, and then I can just sit and fill in with this. And I've got a couple of the actual thistles I've still got to put fill in. So there's a couple that's been done. You can see these have been done, but that one needs to be done. That one needs to be done. In the door. But I love this. I really do love it. And this will definitely be framed. And I'm doing this on, it's 32 count. No, it's not. It's casual. It's 28 count flax, I think. Linen. It's lovely. It's a really lovely stitch. And I'm ready. I'm ready to be done with it. And get it out of me whip pile. And it's all about the bees. This is from Not Enough Whip Bags as well, which is really super sweet. And of course, this has got in the project. And it is Hive Rules. So this is a sale on Primrose Cottage Stitches are hosting the sale. I think it's PCS Hive Rules sale on Instagram. And you were meant to do, I think it was starting March. So it was like March, April, May, June, July, August. And so finished for September. So I should be on to the last bit. I am there or thereabouts. Again, this is the 28 count Lugana. Just, I think it's a mushroom. And I'm getting there. I am getting there. So this is, so I'm down to Believe in Yourself and Others. And then there's just the bottom bit. And Beloved at the bottom. So Believe in Yourself and Others and Beloved. So I've got that to do, and I'd really like to finish on time. I'd really like to finish by the end of August. I absolutely love this. It's fab. My sister has a gym as well. It's called Fit to Be. So a lot of stuff, her stuff's bee related as well. So I did do there's a bonus chart in here. And I did do the bonus chart, and she raffled it off for a charity. But yeah, all about the bees. All about the bees. And this one is still on my hoop, and I ain't taking it off. I tend not to leave things on hoops. It's it's unusual for us. I've just started doing it this last probably week. I think because I just got sick of putting them on, taking them off, putting them on, taking them off. So this again, Not Enough Whip Bags. Surprise, surprise. Sarah does a fab job, and this is Jardin Privé. Jardin Privé. Cat lovers. And I looked at this, and I'd seen this anyway. I was on a site and I'd seen this, and then it was up on Lindsay Cat Fur and Cross Stitch wall, and I was like, I need to do that. So I did. I should have taken it off. So I've just started it really. And it's a lovely stitch. I am doing it on, it's a 16 count. Just a 16 count. I think it's antique white. I don't think it's bright white. I could be wrong though. But this is an easy stitch. This is a pick it up after work and away you go. But this is on my lap stand stitch, you know, the one you put, you know, sort of between. I usually take this to retreats. I've got a Lowry, and I couldn't make friends with it. It didn't want to play nice. Didn't want to play nice with us. And I was just like, how we play the game. Just play the game, play nice with us. And nobody needs to get hurt. And I did think at one point I was going to have to get rid of it, because I just thought I just couldn't settle with it. And it turned out it wasn't so much the Lowry stand, it was more me. I couldn't settle to, I've been so used to having a hoop in my hand. And I've always, I put the needle in and then I flip it, and I put the needle in and flip it. So I switched the hoop backwards and forwards, so that I'm always looking at the side rather than, like, you know how you poke and stab from underneath. It's just not something I've ever done. But now that I'm seeing a lot of stitches and I'm seeing them at retreats and seeing how people work, I'm just getting much better at it. And I've discovered that I'm now a two-handed stitcher. I never used to be. I quite like being a two-handed stitcher, and suddenly it's just starting to click in that actually, yeah, I can do this and I can get into a rhythm of doing this. So because of that, my Lowry is starting to be a little bit more friendly towards us. We still haven't, we're not besties. We're definitely not besties. We're at the point, you know, sort of where we're not calling each other anymore, but there's still a way to go. Honest to God. Yeah. Oh, and I bought this from Michelle, Stitch Mania, who was at the summer retreat. It's the notions, so I've got those out. That's the, yeah. This is the bit you see, not the mess inside. And I also got these 3 counting pins from her. I don't know why I'm holding my hand up, it's got a thing. So I got these 3 counting pins from her as well. And she does a lot. And I've got some more on the way. Sorry, I got distracted there. Somebody rang us. So I was looking at my phone like, who is it? Do they not know? I'm doing important stuff. Very important stuff. And this is, I only started this the other day, and it's a meagre start. Nothing I had was right. You know, when you just think, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do the other. Just none of it was settling right with this. So I started a new one, and it is Quaker Snowflakes from Hello from Liz Matthews. And I have looked at this for a long time. And I finally pulled the trigger. I'm in her Patreon. And you get a discount code every month. So I finally used the discount code and bought this. And I think I got one, I can't remember, it must have been August. Yeah, August. She also did us, or our mum did, our mum's Kathy Barrack. And she gave us a 25% discount as well for all the Kathy Barrack stuff, which is really good. So I did get a couple of Kathy Barrack charts as well. But yeah, I got this, and I've started it on, and I love this fabric. It is 36 count Lyrebird Dell Fox and Rabbit. It's like a teal. So I've literally just started there, and I'm using Anchor. For those who know, there's the perpetual fight with DMC White. It just doesn't sit right. Literally doesn't sit right. And I'd heard that Anchor was better for the white, so I'm giving it a go with Anchor. I'm not convinced that. Oh, I've just realised I've missed just top stroke. I started with 2 threads over 2. Or did I? No, I'm just doing 1 thread over 2. I don't think it needs any more. It looks a little bit sparse, but I don't know, I don't think it needs any more. Right, this is all gonna... It's been warned, I gave it the look. What else we got here? That's all winter stuff. I'm not going to go through that yet. Let's have a look at the Halloween. Do you know, I've got some pathetic starts. I really need to get a grip and do some more, so that I haven't just got like 3 stitch starts. And I have got this one, which is another Jardin Privé one. I do like Jardin Privé. And it is, what's it called? Lady Halloween. But I am doing that one. and it's the same as Linny from the Sable Stitches is doing it, and she's doing the autumny. I like it. I love the rusts and the colours, and this fabric is perfect. And this is a 36 count Weeks Dye Works in parchment, and it's a Zweigart base. Zweigart base, and I've just literally just started the top. So yeah, just started it. Needle minder is lush, and that's from Botanic Crafts as well. Love this. I loved it so much I went back and got a silver one, and I'll probably end up getting more. I just like them. I just like them, and because I like them I can, so I will. And that'll be that. Isn't this cool? There's something about witches' stockings and feet. That is just the coolest thing ever. So yeah, guess where it's from? Go on, I'll give you one guess. Did you get it right? Not enough whip bags. Yeah, you got it right. And in here I have got Barbara Anna Designs, When Witches Go Riding, and I love this. When witches go riding and black cats are seen, the moon laughs and whispers, 'tis near Halloween. I absolutely love this. It speaks to the witch in me, and I mean that quite seriously. Where am I up to with this? I am using it's a 28 count dapple, and I'd like to get more of this, but I can't get. They only do like is it like an 1/8 of a yard, or I don't know what it is, but they only do little pieces, and I wanted a bigger piece. But yeah, so it's a better start than the other meagre starts, so it is just a start. And to be fair, there isn't a huge amount of stitching on that. You know, I could probably get it nailed in a week or two if I made it my focus piece, but it's not at the moment. It's not my focus piece. I would say at the moment my focus piece is the one that's coming up next, and there's a couple more in that bag, but it's just so that I've got them there because I haven't actually started them. I've just sort of either kitted or part kitted. But I haven't got a huge amount of project bags. I know, I think it was Linny from Sable Stitches. She had, was it 137 or something? And I was like, what the actual? What the actual? And of course we all love a Teresa Kogut. Isn't it just gorgeous? Isn't it just divine? I love her, and I think I've bought her to stitch. I think I have. I think I've bought it. I'm not sure if it's in a secret shop for the Patreons, but I absolutely love this. And again, it was not enough whip bags. Mainly because I tend to buy bags at retreats, and she's the lady that's been at the retreats that I've been to, so that's why they're all hers, and because they're worth it, of course. So in this one, this is Luminous Fibre Arts, and it is Enchanted Quaker, and I fell hook, liner and sinker. Hook, liner and sink? Hook, line and sinker. Hook, liner and sink? Hook, line and sinker? Yes. Hook, line and sinker. Yeah, it's been a long day. I loved this. Came out at market this year. This is by Luminous Fibre Arts, Enchanted Quaker. Excuse me. And I'm not far off. But I'm at the point where, you know, when you think, oh, I'm going to be done tonight. But, you know, you actually need probably a good week or so. But I am there or thereabouts. And I do love it. And it is on a 20 count Ada from Megan Coffee Craft fabric. And this was her fabric of the month, and I think it was March maybe. It was one of the first ones I got, and I absolutely loved it. I love the fabric. It's like blues, and it's showing quite true there in the camera. Maybe it's a little bit bluer, but it's got like the grungy brownie to it as well. And it's just, I absolutely love this. Just Quakers, me and Quakers, I just love it. Cats, Quakers and cross stitch. See, this is why me and Lindsay from Cat Fur are like soul sisters. We are. Poor lass. You really wouldn't want to be associated with me. She hasn't done anything that bad in life, I'm telling you. Oh, and I started this last night. This is now I don't know if I can show you all of it, because it's got the pattern on it as well as the picture. So let me organise this. And this is a sneak preview of Hello from Liz Matthews. She's got her release due to come out. I don't know whether she's doing it on the, is it the Needle Market Expo? The one in August, the end of August. I know she said she's got releases to come, and this is a sneak preview from part of it. So I was in a writing mood with myself yesterday. I'm menopausal, what can I say? I get moody. And I'm female, I get moody. And I'm human, I get moody. And sometimes I'm a cow, so I get moody. And sometimes I just, nothing suits. And I was like that yesterday. So I just needed something that had no thought whatsoever in Flosstube. So I started this, and this is on another Megan Coffee Craft fabric, and it is, I've just literally started the crosshatch at the top. I have changed all of the colours. The called for is 720, 722, 951 and 938. And I am using 720, but I'm using it on I'm using it on the one that was meant to be 951. And I literally just did a toss floss. I did a toss floss. Yeah, I did a floss toss. And so they're the colours I'm using for it. So I'm just going to use the dark grey for the word "'Tis Halloween." And I'm using the darkest orange for the lightest parts on this. So it's going to be lighter. So these like 4 squares here, like the 4 light squares, I'm doing in the darkest, because I'm not an orange person, or a lime green, or that sort of, they're just not my vibes. I'm a bluey grey, silver, muted kind of colour girl. And I literally don't know where I'll put it if I did something sort of orange and lime green, because that was my first thought. I thought I'll stick a green in it maybe. But so they're the colours that I've chosen. And it is on my nerd hoop, and I got my nerd hoop in my mystery box from the summer retreat from Sammy Little Loops, and that cute little needleminder was in it as well. Isn't he adorable? He's lush. I'm a cat person, I'm not a dog person, but I mean, I do like dogs. I like dogs better than people. I like everybody better than people. That's why I live alone and I'm single. And all my exes will tell you. Yeah. Well, I just like what I like. And it wasn't them. What can I say? At least it's wasn't putting through marriage, you know, could have been worse. Now this is another Halloween start, another new start. This is from the Friend Stitch. I did the Halloween pop-up, which I've never done before, and I've seen a couple of people have done reviews, so I won't do sort of a big review, but in it was all the classic colourworks that we're going to need. There was 3 charts, which I'll show you. And if you want a proper sort of review, Pam and Steph from Just Keep Stitching have done one. And somebody else did one. I can't remember. So we got the linen in the box and the flosses, the classic colourworks, which was Colonial Copper, Just Rust, Pine Needle, is that Snowball? Yeah, white is Snowball, Plum Paisley, it's quite a nice purple. I'm not a purple girl, but I quite like that. Black Coffee, Trail Dirt, Pebble Beach, Queen Bee, and Copper Penny. So you see, these are more my colours. These sort of more muted coppers. I love these. And this is the one I started, which is the Crow. Is it? Yeah, it's just called Crow. And I started it while I was on the retreat. I think I just wanted to put a few stitches in and say, yeah, I started this at the pop-up retreat. So I've done very little. So it's just the 3, well, I've done a couple of the pumpkins at the top. And this needle minder I got with floss drops. I can't find, I don't know where I put the floss drops, but got this from a girl called Just Keep Stitching. And she's lovely. She's an adorable lady. And she was at both the retreats I went to as well. And she's so sweet. And she does the most amazing floss drops and things out of, I think it's polymer clay. I'm not sure, but it's like a resin. It's not metal or wood or anything. It's some sort of something. But it's perfect for a Halloween one. And I got the floss drops as well. Where? Don't know where they are. And I'll show you these since I'm here anyway. So the other one was, this was by Heart and Hand, because that's who ran it. Easy for me to say. Cecilia Turner, and Heart and Hand. So we got that pattern, which came with, there's a little button and a couple of little charms, little star charms, and a needle and some tiny little beads. I don't know if you can see them or not. And then this one by Amy Brecken, and she was the featured designer on, and she did this, which is super cute. So that would be nice as a cushion, I think. But I think I'll do that as a frame. I like that. I do like it. I like them both. And what was really lovely, because we got the hoop to finish the crow, and we got a back to put in. But I really like it, so I might end up using it as a coaster. I'm not sure. I don't want to put it on the back of something because I won't see it, and I like it. And it's part of my Friend Stitch, isn't it? It's my memories. It is my memories. Because where my memory goes. Right, we're getting towards the end, people. We can start to breathe a sigh of relief. What is this one? And this little lady is going through some tough times as well. The Witchy Stitcher. So this is, and I bought both versions of this because there's the black and white version, and there's like it's like oranges and different colours, which I've got kitted up ready to go, but I haven't started it. But yeah, the witchy stitcher, so we need to show her some love and give her some grace if it's taken a while to get orders and things. She's got some medical stuff going on at the moment. So there's that, and I have made a start. It is that, and it's on 40 count vintage country mocker. And that is if I can get it the right way around. I don't know if you can see it. It's hard to see. It is from what do you call it? From our Charlie when he got coronated. This it's from the Jubilee when he got coronated. That's going to be forever. He's going to be coronated now, isn't he? I mean, he's not a patch on our queen, is he? He's Aried, I suppose, but I'd have his mum could have come round for a cuppa, hadn't he, bother? I'm not sure about him though. I mean, I'm sure he's very nice, and I'm sure if he asked, can I come for a cuppa, I'd say, well, aye, how are you in? Sit yourself down, I'll put the kettle on. But I don't think he would. I don't think he'd ask to come for a cuppa, but I think his mum would have. I think his mum would have said, oh, how are you, Sherry? Let's take the weight off my feet. Let us have a sit down and a cup of tea, and let's have a, put the world to rights hour. And I think that would have happened with our late Queenie. Yeah. Anyway, so that are my whips. There is more, but I'm not going to go through them. I'll show you some of the finishes just to prove that I don't just have meagre starts. I do 2 finishes as well. So this one is... This is the Queen of the Bees, and it's through stitching. The little stitcher on Etsy. So it was really sweet. But I made a bit of a... So that was what I did it on. I did it on it's the same fabric that I'm doing Gaia on. So this is Daffodil by Fabric Flair that I got through the Lakeside Needlecraft Fabric of the Month Club. So I did that one. I thought I'll do the little one first, and then I'll do the big one. So I did the big one. Do you notice anything? It's exactly the same. It's just got this woman on the end and the words at the top. If I'd realised that, I would have just done the bigger one, because this one is just that. But no matter, I've got 2. So yeah, and I liked it. I did love this. It was easy to do. It was nice. It was rhythmic. It was a reasonably easy stitch. The white isn't showing up very well on there, but it is there. And it's a sweet stitch. A sweet stitch. And this is a Kathy Barrack. And this took a whole lot of stitching. Doesn't look like it, but it really did. This is needlework. And believe me, this is 20 count, so it doesn't look huge, but took some stitching, especially this bit. Felt like it was just going on forever and ever, and I was never going to get there. But it is lovely. I'm really, really, really chuffed with it. And I've got a frame to put it in. I've got the batten and everything. I just need to actually do it. But I did love this. This is Needlework by Kathy Barrack. I haven't got the pattern handy, but you don't need it because I've got the the full picture there. That's lovely. It's a really, really lovely stitch. And I'm dead chuffed with it. This is a, am I allowed to be proud of it moment? Because I am. I am quite proud of it. And this one, I've got the pattern for to hand. It's Erica Michaels, the embroideress. And I do like Erica Michaels as well. I gravitate. And I haven't done anything with it yet, but it is done. And I think I'm going to put it in a frame. I'd like to be able to read it. I think, you know, like, oh, that's me. Yeah, that one there, that's me. So yeah, I think I'm going to frame it. But I loved it. Really loved this stitch. And this was a nice easy one as well, because I did it on a 16 count ivory, I think it was. It was a DMC fabric. There's a needle, there isn't, there's a wool shop in Alnwick that I go to, and they do DMC threads. They don't do any other needlework stuff, but they have random bits of Ada. So they had a pack of Ada, which I got there and did this. So this was a nice easy stitch as well on the what you call it. So come to the end. Come to the end, which is probably about bloody time. I'm going to show you a couple of gifts to me, from me. I got Quaker Pumpkins by Hello from Liz Matthews. So again, I used my discount that you get through her Patreon, and I do love this. Haven't kitted it up yet, but I really, really like this. It was the same as the Winter Quake of hers. I've looked at it for months and months and months, and then eventually pulled the trigger. And I love this as well. I love the primitive hair. I got this one, which is Witch Hour and Witch Queen, which is really lovely. And I'm going to do it on that fabric. It's a Affogato, something like that. Is it fibre on a whim? Affogato. Yeah, Affogato. That's 20 count Ada, flat quarter, fibre on a whim, and I'm in the fibre over whim fabric of the month, fibre on a whim fabric of the month club with Patchwork Rabbit, and that was the one of the months. I think it was a month or two ago. I got My Dear Heart by Blackbird Design. Don't we all love Blackbird? I love this. It's so primmy. I need to find the right fabric for it though, without a shadow of a doubt, otherwise. Because I want it to look prim. I want it to look... I mean, that Affogato might work actually. Maybe I do Witch Hour on something else and use the Affogato. What do you think? Tell me what you think. Affogato for this. Yeah, maybe I've discovered Affogato for that. And then I've got, oh, I love this, and I've had this on like wish list thing forever. It is called Sweet Summer Come Again, and it's a small, but you know what, I absolutely love it. And I love the roll, like this small sort of I say roll, it's a pin, a drum, pin drum. Small drum is what it is. So I got that one. I wanted to show you the floss drops. So these, I couldn't find the Halloween ones, but these are the ones I got from Jess Get Stitching. And like I say, they're, it's not showing you very well. The polymer clay. I think that's what they are. I could be lying, but they've got a big hole and a little hole, and the child in me wants to laugh. So the big hole is for the big threads, and the little hole is for, you know, when you've got a bit left and you don't want to chuck it away. So yeah, and they're all marbled, and they've actually got, you won't be able, can you see? They've actually got a bit of shimmer in them as well. They're really lovely though. There must be something about it, because I can just sit and, like, you know, like a stress ball, I can just sit and fiddle with them, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not even going to go there. I'm not going there. I am not going there. Wait till we know each other a little bit better, then I might go there. What else was there? There was something, was there anything else? Going forward, what am I going to do going forward? Oh my God, I'm exhausted. Oh, I shouldn't be drinking that. That's coffee, that's iced coffee. And it is now time that I shouldn't be drinking iced coffee. Going forward. I am waiting for some fabric to arrive, and when it does, I cannot wait to start this. So this is Owl Forest embroidery patchwork calendar, and it's Samantha the Hygge Stitcher. She was doing this, and she's doing each piece sort of on a separate piece of fabric, but I want to do it all on one, and I just fell in love with them. And I wanted the variegation, so I ordered the threads from, I didn't think I could get them from Owl Forest Embroidery, because it was obviously they're a Russian company, but I think they've got something going on now where they're coming through. It said Belgium on the parcel that I got, and I found out because at the retreat a couple of the girls got like kit boxes through from them, so I was like, oh, you can get them. So I managed to get the thread pack from them. I possibly, because it was really expensive by the time you pay the shipping and stuff, I possibly would have just used a week's or a different variegated thread, but I don't know enough about them to say, oh, I could have used this, you know, or I could have used that. I just don't know enough about them. So I thought I'm going to order the threads. Gosh, if I can tip them up so you can see them. They are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I'll be able to show you them better when the fabric gets here. So I've decided to do it on ballet slipper. Is that Fox and Rabbit? Ballet slipper. That's a good point. Just realised I've got another finish somewhere. That's on ballet slipper, and I don't know where it's gone. It's a bit worrying. Never mind. So I'm waiting for ballet slipper to arrive, and then I'm going to start this, because it's just absolutely gorgeous. Really, really, really lovely. And I'm really looking forward to stitching with those. So there's that, and this one. This one was meant to be my birthday start. I found it on the black market, aka eBay, on the secondary market, I should call it. Oh, random little needle minder in there as well. So this was meant to be my birthday stitch. My birthday was in March, but I couldn't find the fabric, and this was entirely enabled by Laura from Lala D Stitches. Fairy Moon, Mirabilia. Just, isn't she gorgeous? She's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I love the moon. I do love the moon. So that speaks to my soul, that one really does. I absolutely love that. But I did get it on eBay and it was quite pricey. But so because of it, and because it was my birthday stitch, and because of, you know, all the rest of it, it needed to be the right fabric, and it had to be the right one. So I ended up speaking to Sophie from Stitchy Ferret, sorry. And she was at the Royal Retreat. So I had a huge conversation with Sophie. And God bless her. She's got the patience of a saint, that woman. Because we had a conversation like back and forward, this colour, yeah, but this colour. And so I ordered a custom made piece of fabric from her, and it is just perfect. It's absolutely perfect. I wanted it to represent like the night sky. It's washing out there a bit. It's a little bit darker than what it's. It is. It's a bit darker than what it's showing up. But I think that on it is going to be. It's just going to be perfect. And I was absolutely thrilled to bits with it. I really was. She's done an amazing job. So if you ever want a specific colour and you need to talk it through with somebody, these girls, you know, they're amazing. And they'll sit for ages with you. Oh, Sophie did anyway. She was brilliant. So I'm not going to wait till March next year, but equally, I need it. I don't know. I want it to be some sort of like momentous occasion when I started. So I thought, well, I could do my oh, here's Charlie. Here's Charlie. This is Charlie. Hi, Charlie. Hi, Charlie. Bye, Charlie. Yeah, I wanted it to be symbolic. So it's my daughter's birthday in September. And I thought, oh, maybe I could do it then. But then I thought, well, no, because I'd rather do something geared to around her, something about her kind of thing. So then I realised there's 2 full moons in August, and the second one is blue moon. And that's what they call it when there's 2 full moons, because they're at the closest point to the earth at the moment. So it's like a super moon. So it's either the 30th or the 31st of August. So I'm finally going to get to start my very first. I'm a virgin to Mirabilias at the moment, and it's been a long time since I've been able to use that word and myself in the same sentence. So yes, I'm going to 30th or the 31st, the next full moon. It's mine. So yeah. Okay. Here we come to the end. I'm shattered. I am absolutely shattered. And I can't believe it's been like an hour and 40 minutes. That's definitely much longer than what I would want to do it normally. Half that would be good. And I'm sure you're all going, Yeah, Sherry, just, you know, cut that in half. And it might be half decent. So do the whole like, subscribe, share. I'd be really grateful. To be fair, do you know what it is? I'm talking to you like there's people out there. There's probably 10 of you going to watch it. So thanks and hi, 10 people. I've got no idea. I'm hoping, you know, sort of maybe every fortnight that I'll have enough stitching to show you. I do usually stitch every day. But it depends how tired I am at the end of a working day as to how much I get done. And that's why I quite like the easy sort of 16 count. Or sorry, I shouldn't say easy because they're not. Easier on my eyes. Sort of the 16 counts are much easier to see after a long day because I work at the computer all day, so I'm constantly, you know, sort of not eye strain, but you know what I mean, using my eyes a lot. So yes, it's been emotional. Next one will definitely not be anywhere near as long. Phew. And yeah, thank you. I find that having gratitude in my life today makes the world a much nicer place. You know, I'm grateful for what I've got. Absolutely. I haven't got very much, but I have got a little bit of serenity in my head. I've got some peace in my head. That hole in my soul isn't as big anymore. And yeah, if you're struggling, keep it simple. And whenever you're in doubt, just do the next right thing. See you soon.